and I need to make sure we do, because that's how sound works. And do we? And maybe. Yes, we do. Yay. Okay. And Dementia Radio now, and recording in 3, 2, 1.
Recorded live on DementiaRadio.org, it's the Funny Music Podcast. Brought to you by FuMP.com, where you can download new free comedy songs twice a week. Now, here's your hosts, Devo Spice and the great Luke Ski.
Hey, Devo Spice!
Hey, Luke Ski!
We have Art Paul Schlosser on the show!
Woohoo! Hey,
Yes,
Art!
here I am.
Welcome
Hi.
back, Art. And welcome to episode 765 of the Funny Music Podcast for February 13th, 2025. The title of this week's episode is Luxury Sling. And where the hell's the chat window? Oh, there it is. And I will put that in the chat so you can refer to it later. And all right. So, yeah, here we are again. And let's do this again.
Let's get caught up with what Devo and Luke have been up to since last week. Or else Devo, if Luke bailed and didn't show up.
Hey!
What?
Oh, he's right.
So, Luke, what you been up to?
Well, over the weekend, Kalani came out to hang out in Burbank for Saturday and the beginning of Sunday. The main reason for this was that her best friend Ella, who lives with her fiance out near the Santa Clarita, they moved into this house, and he owns his own business, and he has therefore has a lot of money. He, basically he does like car racing for a hobby. Like that's how
Nice. Okay.
how much money he has. So they had I'd been to their previous house, which was already a huge house in the valley, but then they moved they wanted to move to a bigger, or Ron, I should say, wanted to move to a bigger house in for their growing family of him and Ella, who he's engaged to, and Ella's son Maximilian. So we went over there to check out the new place, and I am not exaggerating in the slightest when I say we could have FuMP Fest in their house. It is huge. I was literally walking around like the stage could be there. We would just need to rent some folding chairs, move that. The consuite could be the living room. It's like it would. They have 8 bedrooms and 8 bathrooms. We could have the entire performing roster of people for FuMP Fest stay in the house and have the convention in the house. So
Hey, I'm all for it if you can talk them into it,
Yeah, I don't think I could. The other funny thing was they have a piano which actually belonged to the previous owners, but it's like a full-size like grand piano like you'd see in a Bugs Bunny cartoon, and it's mechanized, so it has it's a player piano.
Oh, cool.
And you control it with an app. So it's like she starts playing a song, and it's that song. What is that? Aerosmith, dream on, dream on, dream on. That thing. So he starts playing that, and I'm like, if Bonnie were here, she could get in her like one of her Jessica Rabbit dresses and just like be singing that song.
Yeah.
Along with the player piano, while I get out my Klingon puppet and have the puppet pretend to be playing the piano like Ralph from the Muppet Show. So yeah, so that was kind of crazy beans. And then I watched the Super Bowl, which had lots of great commercials. My favorite of which was like one of the first ones they played, which was a promo for the forthcoming live-action Lilo and Stitch movie. Have you seen that one?
Yes. Yeah.
It's like, I saw that and I'm like, that is the definition of we understood the assignment. We know exactly what we're supposed to do with this character. It's like, I have every confidence that movie is going to be great. I think it's going to, whatever anybody's previous beliefs were on what's the best Disney live action remake, I think Lilo and Stitch is going to beat them all. So I'm psyched about that.
I like the commercial with the mustache. The guy's mustache.
Yeah, that was great too. The Pringles commercial where all the mustaches fly away.
Yeah.
and then people are swapping mustaches. That was awesome. And then I spent the rest of the time finishing a project that was started actually more than 6 weeks ago. The first 3 weeks after I got back from visiting my family, I had to go through all of the like physical items and pare them down and donate a whole bunch of things to like get it all to fit in the storage space I have downstairs because I couldn't afford to keep my paid storage space that I had elsewhere. So after I got through that, I had to go through like 6 or 7 really big boxes just full of like papers and mail and all kinds of stuff. And I bought a shredder so I could sort through them all and shred all the stuff that, I wouldn't want anything that could potentially be used to like, rob my identity or anything like that. I had to shred all that stuff, throw out a whole bunch of other stuff. And I managed to get it all down to like one plastic, handled filing bin thing, and then another bin that I put a bunch of things that were like envelope, shaped. So I got it all down to that, and I'm so happy to finally be done with that stupid project. And now I have my own shredder so that I can basically have an inbox for stuff, and then once every month or so go through it and shred anything I don't need to keep so I don't end up in that situation anymore.
Oops, I shred the best lyrics ever.
Actually, something I did while I was going through all that stuff, because I was putting aside any time I found printed up song lyrics or handwritten lyrics for me working on songs, I'm thinking as a way to earn some extra money of finding some Mylar sheets like for comic book, type things, but, have them be 8.5 by 11 and basically bag up like collections of my handwritten lyrics for like a bunch of individual songs I've worked on over the past 4 or 5 years, and then basically put them up on eBay for sale in case any of my fans would want to buy the original handwritten lyrics and notes for various songs of mine. So that's something that might happen. I also grabbed a bunch of pieces of artwork that I thought I could maybe, send off to MarsCon and see if anybody wanted to buy individual pieces of artwork I did, but that's not super important compared to other things in my life. So yeah, what have you been up to?
A lot, actually. I had a very busy week. This past Monday, I was the musical guest on Steve Goodie and Brad Tassel's virtual comedy show, where I went on and did the requisite 2 songs. And if you missed it, you could watch the replay on Brad Tassel's YouTube channel. So check that out. I also finally managed to schedule and record episode 4 of Random Acts of Horror. Meaning, woo! Episode 3 is now available to my Patreon backers, or backer, singular. And episode 3...
Is it Wild Card?
No, it's not Wild Card.
Oh.
Episode 3 will go public on Sunday in the feed. So you can listen to episode 3 features the great Luke Ski and Purple Pam, who is new to our community. I met her at the show where I opened for Green Jelly. She's in a band called Love and Murder, who went on after me, and they were fantastic. Not comedy, just like bluesy rock band and amazing stuff. And so that'll be up on Sunday.
If she was an astronaut, we could call her Purple Pam on the moon.
We could. If you really wanted to, sure. I also finished editing my 3rd short film, which is good because it's scheduled to premiere at a film festival in next weekend. So I was like, I kind of had to get it done. So it came out so good. I'm so happy with it. It's called Sex Offender Counseling Class. It's 4 dim-witted guys show up to their first court-ordered class, and it's so funny. I'm so happy with it. My teacher loved it. He said it came out great. And I saw the movie Companion last week, which was really good. I really enjoyed that one. And I've been working on a new song. Actually, 2 new songs. One for
The heck you say.
the heck I say, yes. One involves Luke and one doesn't. Does it? No, it doesn't. So it could, but it doesn't.
I'm deeply offended that I'm not in all of your songs.
So yeah, I've had a very busy week. So Art, what have you been up to?
Oh, after I sent you that song, you accepted it. I went on vacation, and we went to New Orleans,
Ooh,
and
cool.
I saw the weirdest. They have that character that's in is with Han Solo. That weird
Chewbacca.
Wookiee.
Chewbacca.
Well, they have a parade called. They have a day called the Chewbacca Day, and they have a parade called Chewbacca Parade. And I got to see the Chewbacca Parade in New Orleans, and it was really weird. And they not only do Star Wars characters, but they do other things like there was some sharks from Jaws. There were what do you call those steampunkers. There were one that was really weird was you've heard of Bob's Burgers.
Mhm.
Well, these people were all dressed up as guys with boobs, and they called themselves Boobs Burgers.
That's great.
And there was some cowboys, and instead of they had a sign that said, "The horse be with you." It was really fun to be in New Orleans. I ate shrimp and oysters, and I saw all these statues by the art museum, and I went in the art museum and saw the original picture of George Washington from the dollar bill, and
Wow.
it really is not finished painting because the bottom part was never painted.
Oh wow.
Because I think after they bought it for the dollar bill, the guy just decided not to finish it.
Well, I got your money. Screw you. I don't need to finish this.
And it was a lot of fun. And there were 70-degree days, so I'm so spoiled from that. Coming back to Madison, and it's like really cold.
Yep.
So, were you there when the Super Bowl was happening?
No, we left before that. I'm glad we did. Boy, as it was getting closer to the Super Bowl, the traffic everywhere was getting really terrible, and buses were being moved around. And then when I heard that the president was coming, it was all the more going to be worse because the president has to be protected.
Yeah, they will shut down
why.
entire blocks to to make sure his motorcade is safe.
Yeah, but it was fun while I was there. I don't think I want to be there when it's really busy.
All right.
Scary then.
I just wanted to mention. I think the whole Chewbacca parade thing. I think they have because Bacchus, like Bacchus, I think is like one of the gods of drinking and partying and stuff like that. So like that's where the term Bacchanal comes from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they have like there's a thing called like the celebration of Bacchus. So I think they changed theirs to the celebration of Chewbacchus or something like that, and that's why they have that parade and everything. And I think our friend Lewis from the Consortium of Genius might be involved with those people. With stuff. I mean, he was probably there with the Steam Cog Orchestra or something.
Probably, yeah.
You might want to go down there when they have it again.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'd love to do
I've
that.
been to New Orleans a couple times, and I thought it was really cool.
Other than that, I've been writing songs and working on improving my comedy. I do the open mic comedy at the Comedy on State, and I think I was really good last night. I finally figured out how to be really funny. You start telling them about things that scare you, and then everyone can relate. You're talking about cops and and big dogs that bark really loud, so and then I've got a lot of free time. Well, I watch they have free movies at all the libraries in Madison now.
Oh, cool.
So I got to see my cousin Vinny for the fourth time.
Great film. Great film.
Yeah, Comedy on State is a great club.
All right, so you posted a song. Give us a quick introduction to this song, and we will give it a listen.
Okay, this is a song that I actually wrote a while ago, but I never recorded it because it was the way I originally wrote it. It was kind of like you've seen the Jets, and at one play, and they have that song, Maria. I just met a girl named Maria, and at first I would sing that on State Street. I would sing diarrhea. I just received diarrhea from a lady named Maria, and then I got gonorrhea. Well, that's how it kind of started. But then I kind of forgot that part. And the other day, when I wrote it again, I just got this weird idea. What if I changed the music and just do it a lot different? And that's what I did. Is I just started yelling diarrhea, diarrhea, and then did verses, and I didn't know. It came out a lot different, and I liked it better. And I don't have to worry about anyone's copyright or.
All right. So here is It Was Either D or G That Made Everything So Special by Art Paul Schlosser.
Diarrhea, 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 diarrhea. You had some strange food during the holidays. Diarrhea. Diarrhea, diarrhea, diarrhea. You went to a new restaurant to check it out. Diarrhea, 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 diarrhea. Met a new lady you thought was really sweet. Gonorrhea, 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 gonorrhea.
I love that this started out as a parody and then you decided not to and just make it an original. It's a great way to work. So I wanted to ask you just a little behind the scenes thing. There's 2 S's in the word special of the title. Is that intentional or was that a typo?
I got really bad grades in English.
So it's a typo. Okay, I just didn't know whether I should fix it or not. That's all.
Spelling is not my greatest subject.
That's fine. That's fine. That's not a problem. Just because some people intentionally misspell things for comedic effect, and I didn't want to step on your comedy. Like, no, that's not how you spell that. So what's been the reaction to this song when you perform it?
I haven't really performed it live because it's a little bit too risque.
Oh, okay.
For my audiences here, but for your audience, it's just right up the.
It's just right for us, and we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if any of my fans here find it there, they'll like it, but I don't have to promote it. I mean, it might eventually, maybe someday it might be on a album of really strange songs by Art Paul, and then I'll put it on there. But I'm getting ahead of. I'm writing more songs faster than I am releasing CDs. So, and it's that's why I have Bandcamp now.
Mm-hmm.
I put them on Bandcamp, and if someone wants to buy them there, I get a little bit of money. And
yeah,
I have a lot of other songs that are already on iTunes and Spotify, and I get checks for those too. And in fact, every now and then one of those songs starts to become popular. So during Christmas, my song that I wrote a long time ago called I'll Be a Gnome for Christmas got some good airplay.
Nice. It's always nice when the catalog songs make a comeback.
Well,
you also put out.
Go ahead. I don't think people have really studied all my songs because I keep writing more and more.
You have way too many. People can't keep up.
Well, I actually make it sort of my job to try to keep up at least every like once a year or so. I always try to go back and make sure that if Art's put out any new CDs that I order them from him because I want to physically own all the Art Paul CDs if I can. And when I've been putting together my yearly playlist of my favorite songs, I'll use Spotify to listen to them when I'm out and about doing things. Even though I'm still going to collect the CDs if he makes them, but because of me doing that, it wasn't last year, but the year before, I think, when they did the Spotify wrap-up thing, it said, my most listened to act was Art Paul Schlosser because I listened to so many of the albums that year working on my iPod, yearly music playlists, for the previous years leading up to that that Spotify just said oh, well, Art Paul Schlosser is obviously your favorite act because you listen to him the most. So,
well, the newest album coming out, I'm still working on. CD Baby is becoming harder and harder to release a CD on it. But the one I'm working on releasing that I just finished is a compilation CD called The Art of Romance. And it's a bunch of people around here doing versions of my lyrics that they put music to. And then some of them are covers of songs that I already released. And some are just my own songs that I just put out that are kind of romantic. And my ones are really crazy, and then the other ones are pretty nice. They sing good. I sing really bad. I think I'm Dating Your Dog is one that I do play live.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, so do you know how many albums you have out now?
I think it's 56.
Jeez.
Or 57. But I don't have copies of them all. Because after a while I don't continue to make copies, but they're all on Spotify or iTunes and people can listen to them.
Okay.
And then they can send me a check every now and then.
So I literally may be the only person on earth who has all of the Art Paul Schlosser albums.
Yeah, not even Art.
Well, well, I had copies of them all, and then I put them on Spotify and iTunes. So they're available on YouTube, and I could get the copies again. All I would have to do is make really bad versions of CDs from the songs off of iTunes or something, and then I'd have the CD again. I don't sell enough CDs. I mean, CDs don't sell like they used to. And
dude, I just pulled up Spotify and I'm scrolling through your discography, and I gotta say, holy crap, this is impressive. Just like there is so much. Like, do you if you picked a song at random, would you remember how to play it from all of these?
Well, some of the top 10 ones I can.
Yeah.
And, and then sometimes I fake, like, I have one that I play regularly that I keep changing the chords to. It's called You're the Best. And I don't remember originally how the chords went, so I keep changing the chords.
Whatever works,
Yeah, it's mainly just the lyrics you really have to remember. But in some cases, I remember the chords and the style and everything. I think one of my most funniest songs, I'll Meet You on Mars, I remember the chords and the words. The songs you play more that make people laugh, you have to play them over and over and over and over.
Yeah. Well, those are your big hits, Those are the ones that people do.
So Art Paul has the Best of Art Paul Schlosser album that I compiled for him, and at the time he put that out, he had 7 CDs, which I believe were based on multiple cassette releases, all kind of put on CDs. So that came out when he had 7 CDs. Then I made the follow-up, the Best of Art Paul Schlosser, the sequel, like a few years later, and at that point, I think he had put out another 7 CDs by then. So the 2 Best of Art Paul albums only encompass his first 14 of the 56 albums.
Well, I have a new Best of. It's a Best of Live, and you have that.
Yeah, and you put out a Christmas CD too of all your holiday songs.
Yeah, and the Best of Live is like all my. It's all live songs. It's my best songs, but not the best version. They're live versions, and sometimes they're like not that great a version, but they're my best songs done live. And I included 1 or 2 new ones on that one. I have one on there called I don't remember the title, but it's all about how everyone else is special. It's called Special. It's I liked it so much I added it to the Best of Live, and then the Best of Live have some best ofs that the first best of doesn't have, and the second best of doesn't have, and the Christmas album is pretty good. And if you want
I love
a really
the title.
bad album,
I love the title. The Christmas album is called Santa Claus Ran Out of Coal, so he gave you this album.
Well, it's honest. It's honest advertising. It's bad, but people want it. I don't know why. I sold quite a few of those. I think I needed to make more copies for next Christmas too.
Christmas CDs sell pretty well. People like Christmas CDs for the for the holidays. So what else is going on with you?
I'm free. I have the cheapest rent ever. I have a Section 8 apartment, so now I don't have to play as often. But I did do a lot of paintings. I have an art show. I had an art show that's going to probably end on the 28th of February that started in September. And I had September, October, and November. And then I was going to take the paintings down. And the guy said, no, the other person canceled. And then he gave me December, January, and February. And so the paintings sold really good all the way through December. And then in January and February, I haven't sold a painting in there at all. But at the same time, I was having another art show at the Goodman Center for a month in December, and people just bought snowmen, pictures of Jesus, abstracts. You can go to my Instagram page, and you can see all my great artwork, the world's best artwork ever. I don't know why I'm advertising it's the best, but I love it. People love it. And my pictures smile. They make you feel good. I have done mermaids. I've done, it's Instagram.com/Art Paul Schlosser. And it's just all pictures of paintings. And it's been fun. I this last year, in 2024, I sold quite a few paintings. People love them. The abstracts, and I had some weird Christmas type paintings, and it was fun.
Cool.
One lady bought 8. She bought 5 first when it was first up at the fair trade, and then 2 weeks later, she bought 3 more. She got my blue Gumby and all different ones. I have one where I'm painting the house, and the paint's falling on me and on the ladder and all over. And I just do all sorts of paintings. I should have brought some. I'll go get a picture or two. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Where did I put it? Yeah, I guess I'll show you some pictures real quickly. Here's a clown, and here's some dancing flowers, and here's a roller coaster ride.
Nice.
Cool.
When I was in New Orleans, here's the mermaid. When I was in New Orleans, I gave away a few of these to people in New Orleans, just to get my name around. Yeah, it's really fun. I have these are just the watercolors, but I have other ones that are. Here's a king. I have other ones
Cool.
that are all acrylic. Oh, I got to show you Zorro.
Nice.
I get 2 more I'll show you, and then I'll quit. I got the Tambourine Man. And there's a ghost. I got to find the ghost. Ghost of Rock and Roll. Yeah, here they are. I think this would be a cool band. A band that all dresses up as ghosts.
That's cool, yeah.
Cool idea for a song, too.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, write a song like that, too. Yep, those are some of my artwork.
Nice. Excellent. All right, so do you have anything you'd like to plug? You just plugged your artwork, but...
Well, just keep listening on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube. And my YouTube channel is www.youtube.com / the the @ and pink pants. And that's probably one of my best. It has both the songs that are from the albums and the really bad videos that I record. One of these days, I'll make a genius, really good video. But I'm not working with anyone, so it's impossible because I'm not as gifted as everybody else with the camera and stuff. But they're interesting. I thought the video I did for this song was kind of interesting.
I was just going to say, I thought the video for this song was pretty good.
I got to find a way of cloning myself. And
if you figure that out, let me know, because I could absolutely use another one of me.
Oh, okay.
All right, so we're going to move on to news and the other song. I have a pre-recorded interview with Lauren Mayer coming up. Are you going to stick around, or are you taking off?
I might stick around, or I might just all of a sudden fade out.
Okay. Works for me. All right, let's do some news after this short break.
The world's longest-running comedy music concert series is back.
So this song is about following your dreams and never giving up. Yay! It's also about the Hulk.
MarsCon 2025 is taking place March 7th through 9th at the Hilton Minneapolis St. Paul Mall of America Hotel in Bloomington, Minnesota.
Can I get a celebratory woo? Woo! Thank you.
This year's event will have performances by Quartet, Devo Spice, The Great Luke Ski, Insane Ian, Carrie Dalby, Meow Mean, Steve Goody, Nuclear Bubble Wrap, The Odd Ditties, Holy Bong Water, Regdar and the Fighters, Primordial Pouch, and this year's comedy music guests of honor, sponsored by Needle Juice Records, John S. Hall and Dog Bowl of King Missile Dogfly Religion.
I don't go to recitals anymore because my hearing is too sensitive, and I don't go to art galleries anymore because there are people there, and I can't deal with people.
Registration for a weekend badge is $55 until January 31st. After that, it'll be $70 at the door. To pre-register and for more info on MarsCon, visit marscon.org.
Please continue to hold. Your comedy music will be with you shortly.
You are currently the 27th caller in line.
But whether you're attending or not, you can still help out by ordering the MarsCon 2025 Comedy Music Fundraiser album. Available as an MP3 download for just $30. It's just under 4 hours of highlights from all of the live concerts of MarsCon 2024.
Guys like prop comedy? Well, I don't. Next track.
This year's album includes comedy music by MarsCon 2024's music guest of honor, Andy Merrill, also known as Brack.
This is what it sounds like when doves cry. Ah, oh my gosh! Oh my God! Nobody will give me bread.
If you'd like to hear a free 30-minute preview of the collection, there's a link to download that at our website.
I need moisture. Can I get a moisture?
Moisture, moisture, moisture.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear.
You can order and download the album right now from the shop page at marsconcomedy.com.
These are all dumb parody ideas, and that's the point. It's supposed to be dumb. We're dumb for doing them. You're dumb for being here. Our next contestant.
Thanks for listening, funny music fans, and we hope to see you all at MarsCon 2025.
We did it, everybody! We're going to the moon!
Last year I took my pants off. This is as close as you're getting.
Time for funny music news. Something.
In the news, Whimsical Will has quietly retired from doing the Demented News on the Dr. Demento show. The way this came up was that our friend Mr. Arthur from the FuMPFest game show fame asked on Facebook if anyone knew what was going on because Will's segment hasn't been on any of the recent episodes, and Will responded saying, "After nearly 38 years of reporting, I decided to retire from the Demented News without any fanfare. My heartfelt appreciation to Dr. Demento, who has graciously offered to keep the newsroom door open should I be inspired again at some point." So, no more Demented News. The show's not going to be the same without him. We will miss you, Will.
Hey, so first of all, like, I mean, I heard about this, and it just really bummed me out, because the Demented News is, like, probably my favorite part of the show every week. You know, I mean, I don't mean that to, like, put down any other comedy musician that ever existed, but it's like, it's the one thing I knew was coming every episode that I was really going to enjoy, you know, because Will does such a great job with that. So yeah. I'm really bummed that that's gone. I mean, I thoroughly understand him, just deciding like, okay, it's time to wrap it up, and he didn't want to make a big deal out of it. But I don't know. I personally feel that's kind of big deal worthy. So
I agree. Actually, I would have like there should have been like a a going away party or something for Will.
Yeah, and so I wanted to just mention, if you haven't already figured out what you're playing on the next episode of Manic Mondays, please play my song "The Doctor and William" from my first album.
Yep.
Right. Well, technically, I guess that was my second album, but yeah, you know what I mean.
Yep.
A tribute to Dr. D and Whimsical Will.
I like his thing on my tribute album where he does makes fun of have a peanut butter sandwich by doing a Halloween cut up, and that one was really.
Yeah, it was his takeoff on The Raven by Edgar Allan Poe, but like instead of the Raven saying nevermore, it was the Raven always saying, have a peanut butter sandwich. It was really, really good.
All right, that's all the news I got. Luke, I know you have MarsCon news.
Yeah, so let me go to my little notes list here. Just to reiterate what I reported last week, I will not be attending MarsCon 2025 due to my my girlfriend's surgery that she is going to do. I need to be there to take care of her. So and Ross Childs will be stepping in to fill that void in the concert schedule. So thank you very much, Ross. I wanted to mention that, this is something that I've known about for a while, but I was kind of not specifically mentioning it because, I don't know, I think at one point I heard that she wasn't going to come, and now she is going to come, and blah, blah, blah. But another part of the whole King Missile Dogfly Religion group, another person is going to be joining John S. Hall and Dogbowl, and that person is Susan Huang. And she does her own music stuff, and she has actually I should have kept that up so I could have found it easily. Let me look up her. Oh, there it is. Her website is Susan Huang La La La. So it's Susan, like you'd normally spell it, then HWANG, her last name, and then LALALA. SusanHuangLaLaLa.com if you want to check out her stuff. But she will be joining King Missile Dogfly Religion, during their concert as one of the other performers on stage. So it'll be cool to meet her. I know that she's part of the kind of New York, comedy and outsider music scene. So that's very cool that everyone will have her get to be part of the thing. Also, I updated the promo image because I guess it was like Dogbowl noticed that I didn't have his name listed on the side of the other performers, so basically just to make sure everyone understood that Dogbowl was in fact getting his own concert in the promo image, I added his name, and then I also added Susan Huang's name to it. So this is like the fourth iteration of this promo image I've made, just to make sure we're staying accurate with everything. So yeah. So what the?
I like King of Missiles, the Cheesecake song.
Yeah, I think somebody did a cover of that either last year or the year before at the. What the heck? Oh, I'm clicking the wrong thing. That's why. Profile. There we go. I'm trying to make sure I didn't forget anything else in regards to that promo image. Whatever, it's fine. I basically need to post it around some more so that when people want to share the image and promote the con, they have that right image to share that includes Dogbowl's name on it, and Susan's. And then, what's the other thing I wanted to say? Oh, so as I was taking care of other MarsCon business yesterday, it kind of dawned on me like, hey, MarsCon Comedy Music Track has a Facebook page, which is at facebook.com/MarsConComedy, and we have a Twitter account, which is at MarsConComedy, but we didn't have an Instagram or a Blue Sky account. So yesterday, I created them. So we are on Instagram same handle at MarsCon Comedy, and Blue Sky at marsconcomedy.bsky.social. So if y'all want to follow me on there, go ahead. I also added links to those to the links page and to the sidebar on at marsconcomedy.com. And I also thought, like, well, here's something I should have done years ago but didn't think of until now. On the top of the links page, I put the links to the Twitch account and to Dementia Radio's, like, listening link, so that in the future I won't have to sit around and try to figure out, what's up. The only slight thing about that is that I want to ask, I guess that would be probably Bryn about it. Because I think Bryn is the person who started the MarsCon Twitch channel, but it's still listed as MarsCon Dementia instead of MarsCon Comedy. So I'm curious are we able to switch MarsCon Dementia to MarsCon Comedy without, screwing everything up for everybody? So I don't know. Because I know you were talking about changing the _FuMP to just the FuMP at some point, and I don't know if it's worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. We could ask our 7 viewers what their thoughts are on it. And would you be able to follow us over to the FuMP if we removed the _ 7 people who are watching right now? Let me know.
Well, I just meant, like, I didn't know if we change the name from MarsCon Dementia to MarsCon Comedy, are we gonna, like, lose all of our followers or something? Or I don't know.
No, I don't think so. It's just the handle that you're changing. So.
Okay. So I'll just have to, like, make sure everybody knows it gets changed. So I'll have to talk to Bryn about that. And then the final thing, of course, that I need to mention is the fundraiser update. And this week we actually got somebody, and actually I want to give this person credit. So let me find their name so that I can say it out loud into the world. Where is it? PayPal. There we go. And it's not listing there. We had somebody donate $200 to the fundraiser so that they could get all 19 of the past comedy music live compilations. So that was a huge jump up in our numbers. So I just want to read off that person's name. It was Matt Tesoro. So thank you so much, Matt, for doing that. It genuinely bumped our numbers up significantly, because right now, with our initial goal being $1,021, we are up to $759.46 as of February, 13th, which is 74% of the way towards the initial goal, with 22 days left until MarsCon. So we still need to sell a bunch of them in order to hit that first goal. So if anybody else has not yet gotten the MarsCon Comedy Music Track fundraiser album featuring live concerts from MarsCon 2024, please go to marsconcomedy.com and click on the shop page, and you can buy it right then and there on via PayPal, our link there, and then you'll get the link to download that immediately. Or if you want to splurge like Matt did and get all 19 collections for $200, which is 70 hours and 15 minutes of content for less than half the price, you can do that by hitting the general donation button on the in the right side menu bar for that amount of the donation, and then I will personally, as soon as I'm able to, go to my email and email you the link so that you can download it. So there we go. That's the news about MarsCon, and I can't think of anything else to talk about. Yeah.
All right. Tour dates. On Sundays in Nashville, Tennessee, Steve Goody hosting at the Bluebird. On Sundays online, Two Sleeps. Mondays online, Steve Goody and Brad Tassel at virtualcomedyshow.com. Mondays and Tuesdays online, Bill Larkin. On the 20th in Oakland, California, Phil Johnson and Roadside Attraction. The 21st in Fairless Hills, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. On the 28th in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, Carla Ulbrich. And the weekend of the 28th through the 1st in Williamsburg, Virginia, Mikey Mason. And birthdays coming up tomorrow on the 14th, Bad Beth. And on the 19th, Shoebox of Worm Quartet. Happy birthday, folks.
Hey!
All right, second song of the week, new one by Lauren Mayer. Here is This Too Shall Pass Like a Kidney Stone.
These days we're feeling flooded by outrage everywhere. But when you're feeling gutted, you can't give in to despair. Please try to remember when you want to cry, alas, this too shall pass like a kidney stone. The White House has been doing lots of things that are not lawful. Basic government they're screwing. It's truly shocking awful. But to folks who are resisting, hey, let's all raise a glass. Thanks to them, this too shall pass like a kidney stone. The worst decisions they have made have quickly come unglued. Turns out their evil is outweighed by their ineptitude. So though things may be difficult, a real pain in the ass, remember, this too shall pass like a kidney stone. We can't get defeated by those bozos on the right. So take breaks when you need it, but get back in the fight. And when you start to doubt there's any reason not to groan, lots of decent folks are out there. Turns out we're not alone. Show a little sass, 'cause history has shown this too shall pass like a fascist kidney stone, as long as we don't give up. Please don't stop the video yet. It's Lauren with a very quick close.
I am here with Lauren Mayer. How you doing, Lauren?
I am doing great. Hang on a second. Let me click that it's okay that you're recording. There. I'm doing great.
I'm glad it's okay I'm recording.
Yes.
So yeah, tell us about passing like a kidney stone.
Well, and again, I don't want to politicize the FuMP, but I do get the feeling that most of your listeners are sort of on my side of like, what the hell just happened and what is continuing to happen. And I can't do a whole lot about it. I don't work in government. I don't have the money or the time to be fighting things. But what I can do is try to inject some humor into what may be a really rough few years ahead. So I saw a sign that said that, or somebody posted a meme that said, this too shall pass, and in parentheses with it like a kidney stone. I just thought that was perfect because it's about what it feels like. And I don't know, I have found that looking for funny songs to write about this mess makes me feel a lot better. And at least some of my YouTube fans tell me that I make them feel better. So that's my job, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. So
this is definitely an optimistic song, and I wish I was as optimistic as you are, because my brain keeps going to, like, you know, worst possible outcome when with everything that's going on, and it's not pretty. So like I'm kind of in the same boat as, like, there's not a whole lot I can do, you know. I'll fight where I can, but there's not a whole lot I can do. So like I'm just going to try to make people laugh as best I can.
Exactly.
You know?
And I'll tell you, I mean, and this is not just me inflating what it is that we do as humor writers, but there's a lot of anecdotal evidence that humor helped during times that were even worse than this. And I think about some of the funnier protest songs during the 60s. That's when Tom Lehrer, everyone's patron saint in comedy music, that's when he started, when he did those weekly songs on That Was the Week That Was. I'm also a big fan of World War II social history. Like what was it like for people? This country had some rations and, you know, rationing and people going off to war, but what was it like in England for people in London going through the Blitz?
Yeah.
And there was a show, a satire show that some people considered the sort of the forerunner of Saturday Night Live. And, you know, it was a radio show with a recurring cast, and they made fun of everything. But as soon as the war started, they started making fun of Hitler. And the name of the show got changed to It's That Man Again. Meaning, oh boy, what is he doing this time? And they made fun of him. And some historians credit that show with giving Londoners the sort of courage to not give in to the Blitz. Because if enough Londoners had said, we had it, we can't do it anymore, it would have been really hard for Churchill to keep resisting the Germans. So I find that, it helps boost morale. Also, if you cut the scary things down to size, it's like when you make your kids laugh at the monsters under their bed, or you read them Where the Wild Things Are. If you make it less daunting by making fun of it, I think it helps a lot. It certainly makes me feel better because, yes, what, for example, Elon Musk is doing is pretty terrifying, but people are fighting it and I can make fun of it. So I really do believe that. And humor definitely is a cope. I mean, all those people who write about humor being helpful in, illness and all that. So that's what we can do. And then if it does get to the point where we have to be hiding people in attics and, doing all the really, really, if the worst happens, we will be in better shape than if we're already freaking out. So
I heard something today that I thought was both funny and sad at the same time. Is that, how Elon Musk has been carrying around his youngest child like on his shoulders a lot. He started doing that, from as far as I can tell, he started doing that after the CEO of United Healthcare was shot. So people are like, he's using that kid as a human shield. So people have, because that kid has an unpronounceable name, people have started calling that kid Kevlar. And I'm like,
hilarious.
That's hilarious and also terrifying because it's probably true,
It's probably true, and that kid doesn't deserve.
No, he doesn't. I feel so bad for that kid.
Or that anything, but it's easy. It's easy to make fun of him for things, and that helps. There's a great Dan Savage quote that kind of makes the connection between now to the AIDS crisis in San Francisco, and I was here in San Francisco in the '80s, and it was terrifying and terrible. But he said the way they got through it was as he put it, we buried our friends in the morning. We protested in the afternoon and we danced and partied all night. Mm. And that's kind of what you have to do. And then we got back up and started fighting again. And I think that helps. I mean, I have a Patreon where I post weekly things. And all I've been writing about lately is, here's how I'm taking care of myself this week. And maybe these things will help. And one of them is to stay aware, but cut it off at a certain point. Like, don't look at the news after 5 o'clock, or don't look at it on your phone, or whatever. And I find, believe it or not, like Rachel Maddow, although she's covering the darkest stuff that happens, she's also showcasing how people are fighting and how they're stopping things. So I find that reassuring. And she also has a sense of humor, which is really nice. So yes,
I have to start doing that because like all my social media feeds are all, doom and gloom, doomsday stuff. And I'm like, I can't so I've been really cutting down on the amount of time I spend online, and that's been helping. But, I need to find like the stories of like where people are fighting back, where people are resisting and what's happening, because I'm not hearing about it,
Rachel showcases that. There's a very funny, snarky website I adore called Wonkette.com, WONKETTE. And it's one of those like HuffPosts. They only do like 6 or 7 stories a day. It's pretty small. Mm-hmm. I subscribe to them. They're funny. They're irreverent. They're snarky. They're foul-mouthed, all the writers. And they will showcase like Jasmine Crockett in Congress, who's just a real firebrand and speaks up. And they'll do it in funny ways. And they'll call people out for things, but also make fun of it. Like, Google taking off Black History Month off the calendars.
Yeah.
And, and what they showcase and what Rachel and a few other columnists or writers do, or show hosts, news anchors, is when the outrage makes them back down. Like a couple of the things that, like what did he do? The complete, they did anyway, some of the worst things that they're doing, people make enough of a stink about and they back down. Oh, we didn't mean that. Or the worst of the tariffs so far.
Yeah.
So, but again, we have to keep a sense of humor. We also have to stay human. And so, anyway, that's pretty much everything I'm writing now is finding something to make fun of, even if it's kind of dark comedy. So,
well, I wish you the best with it.
I mean, it does help looking for humor.
Yeah.
I mean, and sometimes it's hard to find. I had a line, I think it's in the Kidney Stone song. There's a line about the optimist, and the definition of an optimist is at the circus in a pile of, oh, no, it's not in that. Oh, I did one called What Doesn't Frickin' Kill Us Makes Us Stronger.
Yeah.
And I have a line about just like the optimist who's sure that there's a pony underneath all the poop.
Yeah.
Only. So, we had that anyway. So on that happy note.
So yeah, on that happy note, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Yeah. No, I don't know how many of your listeners are going to be in Boonville on Sunday, which is a tiny town in Mendocino County in California, but I'm doing a house concert there. I am doing my February 23rd will be my monthly Facebook Live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. And then stay tuned if people want to look on my Facebook page, although it still has a hack name. We're trying to get that squared away. I'm going to be doing a Zoom benefit for trans support in either April or May. I'm working with a couple of trans people I know to find the right organization, but it'll just be people doing funny songs on Zoom, and then a couple of students of mine who might just sing interesting things, and we'll have a couple of trans people talk about best ways to support them. So I'll have information about that, and I'll definitely let the FuMP newsletter know about that. And then I post a song every Friday, so if people want to laugh at the news, and if people are wondering in the video, I ran out of normal colored tape. I sprained 2 fingers, and it's not bad, but because I play the piano and use the computer so much, I have to make sure I keep these from bending.
I thought that was like that blue painter's tape people use.
Oh,
for edging.
it does. Well, anyway. So the first one that I did was my middle finger. That is healed, but I realized the other 2 I jammed when I tripped. So for a while, I was walking around with a taped up middle finger and telling people, I just sprained it for over flipping off the news.
That's great.
I made you laugh with my injury. That's the idea. I sprained my fingers so I could make people laugh.
I appreciate it. All right. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you, Devo. It's great to see you and say hi to all the fun folks. I'm sorry I couldn't join you in real time, but thank you for letting me pre-record.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Making the internet absolutely ridiculous. Dementia Radio.
www.dementiaradio.org. Port 8027.
Please hang up and try again.
This is the part where there's feedback. Feedback. You know that segment of the show we do about now? Feedback. Feedback.
Feedback. Madman on the Loose wrote, in 1999, I had sleep apnea surgery, where among things removed was my uvula. This is why I asked Luke to delete it from a cartoon drawing of me, which really made me laugh when I first heard that. I had no idea that not only did he had it removed, but he asked you to remove it from a drawing, which is I love. Anyway, when I was in my mid-30s, weighing 215 pounds, the surgery worked, but 25 years and a dozen pounds later, not as well. It is sad when life prevents anyone from doing something they enjoy though multiple references of Luke's work will be expressed at MarsCon, he will be missed. I hope the procedure for Kalani goes well. And
thank you.
Alvarant
wrote, I got a CPAP last year and it's changed my life. It's a pain and I keep forgetting to get the distilled water, but I don't need a nap after work or during boring meetings. I don't have to fight fatigue as much on long drives, and it does help not have to use the bathroom at night. Devo, ask your doctor about desmopressin. It helped me not use the bathroom as much as well. I'm not a doctor, just making suggestions based on my own experience. Just make sure your insurance covers all the expenses for the CPAP, since it can get pricey. Thank you, Alvarant. My urologist, when I spoke to, it's been over a year since I've seen her because I haven't had health care since then. But she mentioned some drug that she said would help. It basically stops you from creating urine in the middle of the night or something like that. And I told her not to bother because what's happening with me is completely psychosomatic, and I know that. But it's just I can't sleep if I have to pee even a little bit, because what happens is I have a dream that I'm looking for a bathroom, and then I pee and don't get any relief, and I spend the entire dream just peeing on things. And this goes on until I wake up and then go to the bathroom. So that's me.
Yeah, that basically happens to me too. Although sometimes in the dream, somehow I'm able to convince myself that I did go to the bathroom and that, like, okay, now I can move on to the next thing. And then, like, very shortly after that, I'm like, wait, I have to go to the bathroom again, when I've never actually gone to the bathroom at all. So
my fear is that I'm going to pee in a dream and wake up and have wet the bed and, like...
Yeah.
All right, over on YouTube...
A-Log! Oh my god, it's you, not again!
A-Log wrote, this might have already been mentioned by the time you get to it next week, but Whimsical Will is done with the demented news. His final report was back on December 21st, 2024, and it's been pretty much a wrap for the Whimsical Will after 38 years. So in case you're wondering why Will hasn't appeared on any of the newer editions of Dr. Demento for a month and a half, that's why. And Luke, I can understand you taking care of Kalani and giving up your appearance at MarsCon for it. As I said to you on Facebook, love comes first, my friend. Hope she'll make it through all right. Thank you, A-Log. And that's it.
I have every confidence that she will make it through fine.
Yeah,
I'm
too.
not worried.
I thought there was a second comment. Let me check, because I may have just missed one. Nope, just A-Log. Okay.
So wait, did Lauren Mayer say, like, she had her middle finger wrapped up in, like, blue painter's tape?
Yes. Well, it wasn't painter's tape. It was some type of medical tape, but yeah, same idea.
Oh, okay. She should have gotten, like, some nicer material. It could have been a luxury sling.
Where's the stupid thing? Wait a minute. I know it's here. Here it is. Okay. All right, that's it for...
There's something I want to say before the show ends.
Go ahead. Do it now or after teasing? Do it now.
Let's do it now. So, and I kind of was waiting to see if Art Paul was going to step out, just because I didn't want to say anything that might offend him, because I know that, you know, he's a religious person, and parts of this might be considered, you know, I guess sacrilegious or potentially offensive. But and let me reiterate yet again, I am not going to be at MarsCon 2025. Kalani's surgery, it's actually kind of a two-part thing. There's like a surgery, kind of a prep thing that happens the day before the big surgery, and then there's the big surgery. So the whole thing for her was scheduled. The prep thing was the 5th, and the big surgery was the 6th. And of course, MarsCon is the 7th, 8th, and 9th. Devo, they rescheduled her surgery. Guess which 2 days they are?
The 8th and 9th?
Close.
The 7th and 8th.
Nope. The 10th and 11th, Devo! Ah. You know, the 2 days immediately following MarsCon? Those days! That's when they rescheduled it, Devo! So remember how we did that thing, God Hates Comedy Musicians, way back in 2010?
Yep.
Can we revise that to God Hates Luke specifically? Because I kind of feel, with the way things have been going the past 7 years, he's kind of lost focus on the rest of you. Like, okay, well, Devo's going to lose his job, whatever. But we got to focus on Luke and make sure that everything happens in the most painfully ironic way possible. Because he's still not going to go to MarsCon, but we need to really just dig it and mash it into him. That maybe somehow, if that had been the original date of the surgery, maybe it would have been possible for, you know, something else to have been arranged because we knew about it that early. But no, it's the 10th and 11th. It's the 10th and the 11th, just so God could take off his luxury middle finger sling and say, "Fuck you, Luke. Fuck you." So there we go.
Your next album has to be called The Universe's Punching Bag. It just has to.
So in case any, and just for the sake of clarification, so we don't get a million comments asking why, is that I'm going to be, as the person who will be Kalani's primary live-in caretaker, I cannot risk getting sick. So, it's like the whole notion of like, I'm going to get on a plane and fly across the country probably through 2 airports, then get to MarsCon and be at a convention all weekend surrounded by hundreds of people, and try to avoid getting con crud, and then take hundreds of people on the flights all the way back. It's like, I need to make sure I'm thoroughly healthy. So I'm not going into full quarantine or anything, but I basically need to do my best to not put myself in situations where I might catch something that I would pass on to her and then make her surgery and recovery even worse. So that's why, even though they moved the dates until immediately the day after MarsCon, it's still really all for the best that I not go. Also considering that, it's like I made that announcement last week. 6 days later, they tell us that the date was moved. It's like, anyway.
And on that note,
that's the thing I wanted to say.
Teasing.
Yeah.
Teasing. He's a teasing kind of guy. Now you have a job.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's song is by David W. Jacobson. Woo. And Tuesday's song isn't posted, but it will be. It's by me. So,
hooray! And as soon as we get off the air, I'm gonna record my part.
Yay! All right. Need a Spotify playlist topic.
The weather?
The weather.
Rain, snow.
Yeah.
It's hot as balls outside.
Yep. Yep, I can do that. It's fucking cold outside.
I'm sure, summertime
Rain,
type
snow.
songs.
Yep, I'll find some.
Winter sleigh ride.
Works for me.
Yep.
All
right, cool.
All right. Let's get out of here. Thank you for watching listening to the Funny Music Podcast. I'm Devo Spice.
I'm Luke Ski, and Art Paul was here. Have a peanut butter sandwich, y'all.
Thank you for listening to the Funny Music Podcast. You can listen live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific at DementiaRadio.org and join us in the chat. Or subscribe to the podcast feed. Look us up on iTunes and be sure to leave us a review. Feedback for the show can be sent to info@thefump.com. The Funny Music Podcast is a production of FIDM Interactive, LLC, released under a Creative Commons share-alike license. Tell your friends, tell your enemies, shout it to random people on the street, and be sure to visit thefump.com for the latest funny songs. Tune in next week where you'll hear Luke Ski say,
if any other deities out there want to convince me to convert to another religion, just hit me up.